Hello and welcome to the Spargur Yarn Crafts channel. My name is WSpargur. I am your host. Today I'm just going to give you that update that I've promised about. It's the retreat I went to in Utah and Stitches West and a little bit of my life updates from the previous podcast where I didn't tag it there at the end. I have tried to film this video about 3 times now. I keep either getting phone calls or people knocking on my door, or the dogs are going nuts at somebody on the sidewalk across the street, and so I keep getting interrupted. I think we are all going a little nuts right now. That being said, I hope you all are well and staying healthy and taking care of yourselves and making sure you're practicing your social distancing. It is important that we do that, and it's very important that I do that. I actually can't, even though I don't feel like I'm at risk, I live with 3 people who have autoimmune diseases and are very highly at risk, and they've had the virus hit very close to home for them, so I cannot leave. Even if I want to go to the grocery or something like that, the risk of me passing it on to them is very high, so I have not left my house in, let's see, what is today? Today's Saturday. It has been almost exactly 2 weeks I have not left my house, so I am feeling a little claustrophobic now, but that is okay. I know that it is for the safety of the people that I live with. So I hope you are also being safe and healthy as well. So I just kind of wanted to go over my retreat to Utah and my Stitches West trip, and there was a little bit of life update just there, but I've got a little bit more to put there at the end as well. So, retreat. It was in February. We went to Brian Head, Utah. It is a ski resort town. It is about, I want to say about 3 hours from Vegas. It's a really nice drive, beautiful scenic drive up the 15, and it is about 11,000 feet above sea level. I have not been at an altitude that high in a really long time. I was not used to the lack of oxygen. It was definitely an experience. But it was definitely a fun experience. It's a beautiful place. There was about, it felt like there was about 6 feet of snow on the ground. It was so beautiful, and it was just 4 of us. The owner of my local yarn store, Sammy, whose family owns the condo that we were in, and me and our friend Melissa. So we were the 4 that went up there, and we had a really great time. Had a lot of food, had a lot of fellowship, and we had the knitting book, the official knitting book from Tanis Gray. If you haven't picked that up, it's an amazing book. You can get it on Amazon or at Barnes & Noble. I actually bought my own copy, but we went up with the intention of knitting some things from that book, so I showed on my podcast what we made from there. So I had the cup cozy and the dishcloth, but I love so many of the patterns that I did go ahead and get the book. So it was just so much fun. We got to walk around a little bit, and there's trails for snowmobiles, and you can see everybody skiing and snowboarding. There was a slope across from us, one down to the left, and one, if you went out the door and looked up to the right, there was one over there too. It was just really cool to see everybody having so much fun. There was an awesome little pizza joint there nearby. We did so many cool things, and instead of using the refrigerator for drinks, we just opened up the patio door, and our condo was on the 1st floor, and it actually snowed onto the balcony, so when you opened the door, it was just a wall of snow, so we actually kind of cut into that and put all of our drinks in the snow. It was really fun. I had a really great time. And I hope we'll get to go back and do that, and maybe we'll go back, during the summer or something when it's, nice and green and cool. So that was a really, really good time. The weekend following was Stitches West. I went up on Thursday morning. I got to see my friend Izzy and all of my wonderful knitting and crochet friends from the California knitting group that I'm a part of, the OC Fiberistas. And we just had a wonderful time in the marketplace. I don't take classes when I go. I have trouble doing crafty things in classroom environments. I work much better when it's YouTube or something that I can rewind and watch over and over again. So I don't take classes when I go. I merely go just to, network and work on projects and to shop the marketplace. It was a really awesome marketplace. I actually did not spend a lot of money. I did buy a few things that I was kind of looking for here here and there, but I didn't really spend a lot of money. I think I bought in total 7 skeins of yarn. 5 of them were the same yarn though, and they are for a pattern that I actually intend on knitting. I actually need to buy that pattern. And the other 2 were just a beautiful base I hadn't seen before, and it was just a really good price. It was from the Webs store. Actually, everything I bought yarn-wise was from the Webs store. So everything I bought there was wonderful. You might be able to hear my dogs. I don't know if you can or not. They're wrestling. That was a lot of fun. I got a shawl pin from a wonderful lady. I will have to write it down to talk about it in the next podcast because I forgot the name of her. I think it's called Crafty Flutterby. It's kind of a butterfly-inspired booth or company or whatever she calls it. But she hand makes all of these beautiful metal shawl pins. So I got one of those, and then I revisited the Bar-Maids booth, who has the Lolo bar. The Lolo bar are those really nice lotion bars. But I've met Kismet, the owner, a few times, and she actually asked me to be part of her video commercial thing that she had. So she had videographers there, and they were asking people to talk about the product and to, you know, talk about their experience with it. So I got to do a little bit of an interview for that, and I actually got into the commercial. So I'm actually in a commercial for Barmaids. If I can find it and get the file onto my computer, I will actually put it at the end of this video so you can see the commercial. But that was a really cool experience. It was really awesome to be a part of that. What else happened at Stitches West? I ran into Marley Bird. I love Marley Bird. She's such an amazing person and such a wonderful influence in the fiber community, especially for people who are on a budget. I think she has amazing patterns. She has amazing tutorials, a great podcast, and she's just an amazing person. So running into her and getting to talk with her again was amazing. I did run into Brooklyn Boy Knits. I ran into Gigi Made It. I networked with so many different local yarn stores and designers that I've got lined up to do things with in the future. Just so many amazing opportunities that I had just from being at Stitches West. I did see Tracy from the Grocery Girls again, and she remembered me, so that was really cool. I ran into her. I got to see Taylor of Fiber for the People. If you don't know, Taylor of Fiber for the People is a yarn dyer who actually lives a mile down the street from me. I pass her house regularly, so it was really cool to connect with her again, and to see Tristan and Christy. That's Yarn Cafe Creations and Dragon Horde Yarn, and their podcast, Girls in the Yarn Cafe, I believe is the name of that. I'm subscribed to it, but I don't remember the names. I'm just like, ooh, new video, and I click it. So getting to see them again was awesome. They're really, really cool people. And I got to meet Zandy Peters for the first time. And there were just so many people to meet and so many experiences to have. If you can ever go to a Stitches event, it's a wonderful place to be, or any fiber event, really. I do know that right now a lot of them are getting canceled, and I understand. In the future, when we have moved forward, really try to go to any kind of local fiber events are great too. So if you can get to one of those, just get out there and smell the yarn, smell the fiber. It really is an awesome, awesome experience. So a few life updates. Last time I did a life update, I was talking about how I had been to a psychiatrist and they had put me on Lexapro. Turns out the Lexapro was giving me really bad headaches, and I could not keep a consistent sleep schedule because one week it would knock me out and the other week it would wake me up. And so I couldn't figure out when to take it the best. So we've switched me to Effexor. It is working much better. I'm on about my 6th week, so I'm supposed to continue taking it until my next appointment, which I think is probably going to end up being a video appointment. And then I believe we're going to end up upping the medication. I'm at a point where I do feel better, but it's kind of one of those things where, like, my head is now above water, but if I open my mouth, I'm going to swallow some. So we'd like to get me, you know, floating and not, like, just able to breathe. So that's something that we're going to be doing, and that's important to me, that I'm able to manage my anxiety as I have it now until I'm able to kind of really think about what's going on in my mind and can adjust it without medication, but for now, I'm happy with medication and then continued therapy, of course, to kind of just learn all those coping mechanisms and skills. Beyond that, so I bought a bow, and by that I mean like archery. It's here behind me. And it was supposed to be for the corporate challenge, which is the thing that Vegas does between corporations, and they're kind of like these fun little activities and competitions. And so I bought it because in order to be on the archery team or to participate in the archery event, you have to have your own equipment or rent it. And at the time I had a little bit set aside, and I was like, you know what, let's just go ahead and buy the bow and I'll practice. And then they canceled corporate challenge. So now I have a bow, and I shoot it in my backyard, but while everything's closed right now, I can't go to a range, so it's kind of sitting here. Kind of unfortunate that I can't use it right now, but c'est la vie. What can you do? I'm practicing more with dyeing semi-solids for the Spargur Yarn Co. shop. I created this weird green color. I don't know how I feel about it yet, because it's like, it's sort of radioactive, but it's a little greener than, like, it's not quite a neon. I don't know. I don't know what to call this color, but I was happy. So I got it pretty consistent. So this one is a superwash, this is a non-superwash. There is a little bit of variation between the two, but I'm actually pretty pleased that I was able to get a pretty similar color out of the two different bases, which is kind of hard to do between superwash and non-superwash, because non-superwash takes up the dye a little bit slower. But I'm pleased with that. Other than that, I'm just kind of trying to figure out how to weather all of this. You know, waking up and literally moving 2 feet into an office chair to start work is different. It's not what I expected it to be. Working from home it's nice, but it's a little bit more of a challenge because you have to compartmentalize, like, the 8 hours that I'm working, those are work hours. I can't get up and just do the dishes. It's not how it works. Yes, I'm home, but I'm working. So having to compartmentalize your time, even though you're in the same space, is a little odd, and I hope that I'm doing it well. But yeah, working from, it's weird. I can communicate with my team pretty easily. We have video chat. We do team meetings once in the morning and once in the afternoon just to kind of check in on everybody. And that's not crazy difficult or weird or anything. I think I'm kind of lucky, and I know that I'm lucky in the fact that I have 3 people that live in the house with me. So, you know, I do have interaction with people, but not being able to interact with my coworkers face-to-face is a little odd. Well, my trash can's coming up. Are they home? Oh, no, that's my neighbor's trash can. I don't know if you could hear that, but it was trash day. And now the dogs are barking again. The dogs, I think the dogs are going a little crazy with everybody being home at all hours of the day. I think they're used to kind of their 8 hours where they can kind of do whatever. I do kind of know their sleep schedules now, though. It's sleep when we're in bed, then we get up, they go back to bed, then they play for a few hours, then they go back to bed, and then about the time, around dinner time, they get a little antsy. So that's been fun to learn. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else today. I think that was kind of just a little bit of updates that I wanted to give on some of the things that I've done. You can be looking forward to another podcast coming up here soon. I believe a knit crate shipment will be going out probably in the next week or so, maybe a little longer. They haven't said whether or not their warehouse is shut down. I know they said that they're still going to plan on getting everything shipped out, but I don't know if anything has changed since that last email. So you can be looking forward to a knit crate unboxing, a new podcast, and I've been kind of working on a crochet blanket design. It's really simple, and so I'm not gonna it's just gonna be a video thing. I'm gonna film the basics, and I don't know, we'll throw something in there. I'm working on the first one right now, but I'm going to do a second one to kind of show how they'll look different using the same stitches and the same pattern, how they'll look different based on whether or not you use solids or you use self-striping yarn. So that's something that I'm working on right now. Yeah, I have used up a lot of my yarn stash, by the way. Like, a lot of it. I've gone through a lot of yarn, and I actually am really pleased with that. I also finally got back into sewing. I ordered some zippers because the ones I have are too short, but I have been doing more sewing. Actually, that Star Wars bag, I just made that recently. Yeah, I've been just trying to get back into all my stuff. You know, if I'm going to be home, I might as well kind of get into the hobbies. I've been reading more, which is nice. I haven't actually been turning on the TV much, which is kind of nice for a change. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else. So if I was able to, the commercial for the Barmaids products will be at the end. If not, I will see if I can find another way to get it to you so that you can see it. I'm sure it'll be around as a promotional video on her Instagram or something like that as well. But I'll also leave a link to her shop. They're amazing products, and you're going to get all of that. If I can get the commercial, I'm pretty confident I can get the commercial in there. But you'll hear about all of the amazing products. But I'll put the link in there if you're interested in just kind of at least looking at the products for now. I know spending money is kind of a questionable thing right now, even for me. But, you know, if you at least want to, like, bookmark the page for later, I'll put that link in there just in case you're interested. So thank you for joining me for those fun little updates. Be looking for that Knit Crate unboxing, the podcast, and that crochet blanket tutorial coming up in the near future. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all again very soon here on the Spargur Yarn Crafts channel. Thanks.
Well, I'm actually relatively new to low body care, but I'm actually new to knitting, and I've started following Christy Knits, and she highly recommended low body care.
When I'm spinning with fiber, a lot of times my hands get dry, and it just does a really good job of keeping my hands, my cuticles, just softer.
I work in an office, so I'm constantly typing. I use the lotion bar every day, and the moisture just lasts all day long. It's a really, really great product.
For a body bar that you can rub in your hands and it stays moisturized, it's one that I come back to time and time again.
And it doesn't leave that kind of sticky, tacky feeling that some lotions can.
And I love the smell. That's probably my favorite thing, is the smells.
That smell. Oh, that smells so good.
Every year I come back and get a different scent, and it's one of the things I look forward to. Still a ton I want to try.
I have a really difficult time finding scents that don't bother me. I get migraines with scents, and this is heaven.
My favorite product is her hand cream, the bars, and her cuticle cream is really good too.
I love cuticle cream. It's lovely.
One of the other things I love is that they're trying to reduce their carbon footprint.
Aluminum free, paraben free.
Oh, phthalate free.
Yeah.
An amazing product that uses a lot of natural ingredients, which is great for pretty much everyone.
I really appreciate her product, the consistency and the quality, and that she's a small women-owned business.
The quality of the products and the variety of the scents.
I just love using it.
I would highly recommend it.
Love it.